I've succeeded today in actually uploading my first copy of my book, my first book that I wrote. And the title of that book has to deal with everything that I've been teaching you all that you see from my discovery on the screen and from my past videos, period. And so the fact is, you can get this book on the Play Store. I haven't done all of the works with it, and the facts are I've sold a couple of copies to friends that have donated to me. So they got a special copy, is what I want to let y'all know too. They got the official color version, how it is that I really intricately, laid it out. The lime green chakra that I was on last year when I wrote the book, they got that version. But this version here that you see on the Google Play Store, of course, as you can see right here. Oh, okay, never mind. As you can see, this right here is actually black and white, and it's almost like a negative effect. It's not normal black and white, but it's really cool actually because regardless, you can still see the same thing being communicated. It's just not anything like it makes it fair for the people who went above and beyond and sent me money, for my book in itself. So as you can see at the beginning, that is the front page. This is the front page. Everything's negative in black and white. So that's the table of contents, prologue, chapter 0. There are typos in here that I have not finished, fixed yet. So that's something I got to work on as a new uploader too. But that's cool. You know, uh, it's not something I've been doing all my life. And the facts are, as you can see here, it makes it a lot easier to see. When you look at, like I showed y'all with the 3 count or the Chakana, this is found in India, as you can see on its written page. For everything here in this book, what y'all have to understand when you read the book and look at the book, as I go back to the beginning, after the prologue, I set everything up to be pictorial on one side and explicative on the other to explain the pictures. So at the end of the day, you got the pictures that are on the left side, and then on the right side, you have the explanation. Your right side of the brain is the creative side, and they say that that's what's controlling your left side, and so everything is functioning with the way that the brain functions at the end of the day. Though your creative side is the right side of the brain, you would think that the pictures and everything, creativity would go on the right side, but either way it goes, that's what they teach you is that your brain is controlling opposite sides of the body. But as you can see right here, you got the written half and the pictorial half, so that people can look on one side and then read what it is. What's the point when people see these monuments and things? So when they see the Nazca star, they could then read this and see what's the point. How does it tie into your discovery? That's what this whole book is simply doing. Very quick, very blunt, and straight to the point as far as how it's delivering things. Angkor Wat, as far as what you see with the geometry, the center right there, like I've been showing y'all, you can see the center right down there. And it's right there too. And so then you see the explanation of it. And then the next place, Mothera Sun Temple. And you can see how it also has exactly my work there. Same exact thing. Can't tell me I'm lying. Then you could also go to another place in India, chapter 4. That's found there. Now, mind you, you have a chessboard, and the bottom of chess pieces are square. They fit inside of, they're not circular, fitting inside of squares. Look at the windows of this temple. You see it on the side. So you see it as a side view, a top view. When you get in the sky, you see this right here. When you get to the side and look at the building from the side view, you see this right here. So when I told y'all that this is something that has to deal with every direction, you're seeing that being done by the Indians. Now, whether you're wise enough to understand it and look into it, take heed to what is being shown to you, that's your dealings. But as you can see right here, like I was saying, that's the La Chicana, the traditional Chicana. But you see the 5 is always accompanied with the 5, which is the name of this book, the Chicana of 5, because you have a Chicana of 3 steps. We know this when you even type this into the AI. But what you don't know of is a Chicana of 5. There's a solar Chicana, which is the Chicana of 3. And then you have the lunar Chicana, which has been shown to be the number 4. But you have no name for, at least been found by me, or shown by anyone else, for the 5-step Chicana. So you have this 5 that's right here. Notice that the square, if another significant factor is the fact that the square, where these things are squared off as far as the buildings, is always at the number 7 and 2. It's very, very, very important for y'all to understand that they changed the other. It shows that that's one thing that actually shows that this is my work, because the square is constant in my work. You can't change a square. A square is always going to be a square. And this is what you find at Borobudur when you, like I showed y'all earlier, Borobudur, when you look and count its edges, it has the same count that you see here. They're changing all of the metrics except the square metrics, because a square cannot be changed. It's constant. It's a law of the universe. A square has 4 equal sides, 4 points that are equidistant from each other, equidistant length sides. That's how a square is built. So those metrics don't change. And that's also what you see right here. When you look at this one, the square is also still there. When you count 0, 1, 2, you see that the square is there, but everything else is changed. When you count the right angles, you got 0 right there, then you got 1 and 2. That small 2 right there, and you can see that it makes a square very vividly. It's a constant code. Continue this process with the rest of the work, and you shall get the same results. Like I showed you with Borobudur, when you count these edges, such as 1 or 0, I mean to say 1 and 2. Now that you've got to 2, this the third right angle, you 0, 1, and 2, you got a square. That's where the square is being made. There is no other square. You can literally look at the other, when you match everything else up, polarize it, it makes no squares. The square is made once again at 2 and 7. Just like my work shows you 2 and 7, a square. The same thing is going on with the Nazca Sun star as well. Very important. The squares are literally made right here where you see this at 7 and 2. The other points are literally at 0 and 9. I couldn't make any of this up. So this here doesn't really apply. This is more so a drop down, like you know, kind of like you fit something in a slot. You could just drop it down in there and it fits just perfect. But it's also, the importance of this one is when you do all of the, like, because the fact is, once archaeologists and just people who are smart, period, in the future catch on to my discovery and read up on it, actually read this book and study it, they're actually going to do the dates of everything and pay attention to when this symbol was first known. And when you actually do the dates, my point in mentioning is the oldest date that you see come across for this symbol actually is here at this Saudi Arabia area. That's where it actually mentions BC. I don't remember BC dates even being mentioned in any other point throughout all of this research. And so there you are. That makes this right here the first depiction area of it where it was. I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that data that has been shown to me right there, based on what someone else has said and shown, would make this the eldest, the grandest depiction of this based on age. And here you see with Chan Chan, same thing going on. The level would be 0 and 9, which you see down here, the bottom. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Same thing that you saw with Borobudur. Not Borobudur, but Mothera Sun Temple. And when you look down here, remember what I told you about the digital world? Those are digital fish, basically. That's what those look like. Kind of, right? They're supposed to be fish, but they look digital, pixelated. So when I told y'all the Chakana has digits, or I told y'all also that I showed y'all that the ancients said that La Chakana is a bridge between the spiritual world, the physical world, and, the underworld. Well, that's where I'm showing y'all the digits, the numbers are also a bridge. The digital world is a bridge between the physical world, the underworld, and the spiritual world. So that's what La Chakana and digits, or the digital world, have in common. They're both digits. So that's very important. I forgot what I was. Oh, yeah, digital fish. I haven't ever looked this up. It's crazy how holographic things pop up. You see that right there? Or a pixelated fish. I'll just do that. And I'm not going to make this one long. You see how that looks very much? I ain't never looked this up before, but you see how it looks very similar to what you see? As far as what you have to do, how you have to construct that. Look at that, and then look at that. So you got that right there, and then you got this right here. See those two? The stair-step pixelated aspect going on at the front of both of them. See how it's stair-stepped at the front? And the same thing is with the other. Every one of them, actually. So the fact is, when it comes down to it, this is found all over the earth, and this is not all of them. That's what's crazy. So you mean to tell me this is the most used symbol around the world, one of them, but you don't have any books out here on the 5-step Chakana, this discovery that I've made. Here is Mexico. And remember what I told you about that square as far as the numbers 2 and 7? Well, that's what they were showing you right here. Now, it's one thing, let's say, and let's look at it like as if this. What if I saw one side of this building and I heard, if I was actually there in a hypothetical situation, and I told y'all that this right here has to deal with my work, but I had not yet seen this down here? You would probably say, I look kind of like it, but that don't mean it's it, right? Now, there's always a double, not always, but there's quite oftentimes a lot of double factor authentication to help prove that something is right as far as my work having to be it. Because the thing is, it's right here. Looks just like the center of my work shown there. But on the same exact building, you mean to tell me one of them is the outside? You take those numbers right there, which is the inside. One of them is the outside, the rim on the outside. And you took the inside and separated at that point. Because literally, the inside discovery only exists because of the outside. It is not able to be realized without the outside. So they come separate. Very important stuff. Ollantay Tambo, I've been going over there. That's one of my actual new favorites, actually. Believe it or not. I don't know how old that stone is. It's very mysterious. It could be new or it could be prehistoric. That's the crazy thing. Prehistoric. This is wild. That's the Mitla ruins. This is actually one of the least favorable of mine because they actually mention that Mitla. I'm very big on not having anything to deal with the underworld, evil, devilish things, but the Mitla ruins was seen as a gateway to the underworld. That's just called being honest. But you can't control what the past had going on. But that's just the truth of this place here. So I don't really mess with that place like that real heavy. This is going over to Jerusalem now, on the other side of the world if you spent it. And when you go there, you can look and count. I didn't just put these things here for no reason. You have to do the work and at least count. Now, when you look at this one, you got 0 right there, like my work as far as right angles. Look inside of this frame it's sitting in. You got 0, and then you got 1. All they're doing is changing the metrics. Then you got 2, 3, and 4. Reflective. And you got the 3. Didn't I tell y'all that the 5 is usually paired with the 3? You do realize they could have changed that too and put 4. So I can't lie to you about nothing. There's the 4 right there far as Puma Punku from Tiwanaku. That's said to be the lunar Chakana. And for people who are new and do not understand what it is I'm meaning by lunar Chakana and things like that, lunar Chakana versus the which one? Yes, this solar Chakana. And what you have right here is supposed to be right here. Let me see if it's gonna upload. Nope. Well, I had the original post that showed the difference between the lunar Chakana and the solar Chakana, but it's not retrievable right now. And so the facts are, you have those 2 Chakanas clarified as the solar and lunar Chakana, but those are for 3 and 4 steps. There is no clarification or name certified for the 5-step Chakana, and that's where I come in. So it's been done for the other ones, but this one here, I'm showing the mathematics and science behind it. Theirs, I don't know if it's real science or not. I don't know if it has to deal with real science or not, but I know with mine, it's no game at all. Everywhere around the world uses these numbers. That's a universal language at that point. Everybody understands those numbers. All of the other, that's what I'm trying to show you. That's the commonality. Everybody understands the digits or the numbers, the digital world of 0 through 9. That's a bridge at that point. And I'm showing you that, what did I say? The digital world and the Chakana seem to have some relativity. And I'm showing you that the Chakana is also what I've been showing you. Known by all cultures. That's what the whole book is showing you. So if they understood, if the Chakana had anything to deal with the true reality of understanding what number is or how it functions, understand that if numbers were the universal language, which everybody understands, the number 0 through 9, they would also have some type of remnants of understanding that symbol and applying. Because that is the numbers at that point. If you understand that. So that there is the very end of the book as far as what I'm showing y'all now. As far as the title, what was the purpose of the title that I put there? The title says something about being blinded by the light. And I wanted to show y'all something because I don't get the amount of credit that I do deserve. I'm keeping it real. I really don't. And the facts are, when you're blinded by the light, this is what y'all look like when y'all are coming here. If I was shining so bright, just because y'all are not commenting as much as I would expect y'all to, but watching as much, that's the thing. You watching, but your comments don't reflect your watch activity. Understand that when somebody shines, or a light shines very bright, or a person shines very bright in this case, that's what it'll make you do right there. And so when y'all see me shining like I am, that's kind of like what y'all are doing. Y'all are trying to not show that you looking, trying to look away. It's so attractive and everything. It's so bright. You can't help but desire to look at it. But at the same time, you're trying to shelter yourself and trying to look away. You forcing yourself to look away. Just like this, I'm telling you why you ain't hitting the like button. Here you are. You're doing this shit right here. Because you can't argue with it. You can't debate my work and debunk it. And so why don't you support it? It's obviously entertaining enough for you to continue to watch it. I deserve the likes. I deserve the comments, because the faster y'all speed that up, guess what happens with that? That means that I continue to grow. That means I reach more people. That means my work actually gets off of the ground. It's going to do that regardless, but the facts are I can help others. And it doesn't have to just be about Corey at that point. And it could be faster. So that's what it's like when you shining as bright as I am. It makes you want to put up your hands to cover up against the sun. It's too damn bright. You know what I mean? You're still trying to peek through and look and everything because it's so amazing. Like at me. But you going like this. I mean, ain't that what you're doing basically when you have one? If it was one person in here right now, and then as soon as they see me noticing or acknowledging that they're watching, and then they leave out. Ain't that basically the same thing? So it's just crazy. But that's what I have for today as far as this one. That's my video for today. I want to shout out to J-Ma for buying the copy of the book. Shout out to my guy Brandon. That's my bro right there. I appreciate everybody for the support that y'all have been, and people who are attending and paying attention real heavy as far as learning what this is all about. Why you have 4 and 5 fingers. You got 4 fingers that look the same, but plus 1 that controls it all. Without it, it'll screw things up. You can't grip things anymore like you can. You couldn't grip anything in this reality without your thumb and the other 4 fingers, and without your head and your other 4 limbs, you couldn't grip reality with no head at all. Period. So there's something about 4 plus 1 equaling 5. Completion. So the number 5 is a number. Every number is a number of completion. I know that y'all have heard that the number 7 is the number of completion due to 7 days in a week, and even 9 being a number of completion. But understand that every single number is a number of completion. That's the whole point in it being a number. It's a complete difference from the other number that was just before it or right after it. You literally have, it's a marker point. 3.0 is 3. And you're not at 3 until you've completed not being 2.99999 anymore. You completed 2 point everything. And so 3 becomes a marker of renewal or completion. So, because Lil Wayne has a saying out here from a song, and it goes, every finish line is the beginning of a new race. And that's what that becomes at that point. Once your race that you were on is done, now it's the time for a new race.